Coach, it was a pretty busy summer for you. A lot of important things happened. At the top of that list, you becoming a Swiftie. Can you elaborate on that one for us?
You know, it was an amazing experience, and not one that I had really thought was going to be an amazing experience, to be honest with you. It was amazing. It was long. Got there at 4. Left the concert venue.
Out in L.A. You're at SoFi, right?
Yeah, I was at SoFi in L.A. My daughter had been talking about it as most, girls her age had. But we got there at 4. We didn't leave until 11:45. Where there were a couple of moments where I was like, maybe, fingers in the ear, like I had enough. Yeah, maybe a moment or two, but there are other moments where I sang along.
Well, so we will find some video of you maybe say, do you have a favorite song that you want to go on?
Cruel Summer was one that, like I said, hey, if I'm going to go, I have to be able to, sing along a little bit. And I wasn't really much of a Swiftie before, but man, I spent a lot of times letting Cruel Summer just roll along here in my head. So.
In my peripheral, I see Noah Eagle emphatically nodding his head, so he must be on board with that one. That's a great answer, Coach. Okay, now we can talk basketball.
Okay, good.
And I know you don't want to talk too much about last year. It's in the rear view. But what do you take from last year's struggles, especially on the back end, and apply to going into this season?
Yeah, Jordan, I'm okay with it because I do think that, for us, there's real value when you can go through a year like that, many of us hadn't experienced, and yet have guys that went through that return. I think there's real benefit. That's the way it used to work, as you know, in college basketball, is you would have guys that maybe had some struggles and then they get better because they went through those experiences together. So for us, we have 3 sophomores returning who were critical for us, who were freshmen last year, who went to, we got real scar tissue. There's no question. We got real scar tissue. And I think we had some really good moments towards the end of the year. I think we've reflected as a coaching staff, what could we have done better, both in roster construction and then just in our performance throughout the year. Having said that, we were, we put some guys in some, when you're starting four freshmen in Big Ten play, you're going to have some challenges. But I'm really excited about what that can provide for us moving forward.
When you talk about growth, look no further than Bruce Thornton and what he became the second half of the season. What kind of load will you put on him and expectation as well?
Well, he's going to be our bona fide leader. There's no question. At the point guard spot, he's going to be our bona fide leader. He is an everyday guy. He's everything you want in a guy to be leading your group. Now, he's young, but I don't really look at those guys, in particular him. He averaged 31 minutes a game. So is he a sophomore? I don't know. He's more like almost a junior. So he's everything we want. He's got to take the next step, as does Felix Akpar, our center, along with Zed Key, those 2 guys. And then Roddy Gale's got to have a real step forward to us as well.
Akpar and Key, that's obviously a big question about the Buckeyes. Can these guys play together on the floor, or will they be one in, one out? How do you look at that lineup with those 2 bookend bigs?
I think we'll look at it, and we have looked at it. The question, as you know, is, can those guys guard out on the floor? Can they guard in today's modern game? But there's no question we will see them on the floor together some this year. Will it be the bulk of their minutes? I'm not sure about that, but we'll see them on the floor for sure some.
One of those new faces, a lot of people are talking about the transfer of Jameson Battle.
Yeah.
He's had some explosive games in Minnesota. You went on record saying at the wing position you need a little bit of a punch. What do you hope to see from Jameson this year?
Well, we lost, some wing scoring, and Bryce Sensabaugh went to the NBA and Justice Suing, who graduated. So we needed a just experienced wing scorer. I'm really glad that we were able to pick him up in the transfer portal, because I think he provides that. Where he has to get better is he's got to be able to be a better rebounder and a better defender. But he's wired to score. He's got the ability to score in a variety of ways, Jordan. And I think we needed that. And he's a good complement to our current roster, as well as to some of our other transfers that we added.
Scotty Middleton, expected to make a splash. Give me a precursor for those who haven't seen his type of game yet.
He's a real, he is a two-way player really from day one. He can impact the game in both ways. He's long at 6, almost 6'7", has the ability to shoot and make open shots. Strength is the biggest thing for him. He's wiry, but he's not as strong as he needs to be. He gets knocked around, but it's not from lack of effort. He's tough. He's tough-minded. He'll make an impact as a freshman. We've been really fortunate. 2 years ago, Malachi Branham was the freshman of the year in the Big Ten. Bryce had an impact last year, so we've had some freshmen really make an impact. I expect Scotty to impact this team along with some other guys.
Coach, from playing at Taylor, coaching at Gardner-Webb, doing it at Butler quickly, and then coming over to Ohio State, that is incremental steps to now one of the biggest programs in all of athletics. What has that journey been like for you?
You know, it's been a unique one. I think it's a path. I don't know, and obviously you and I know each other well. It's not one that I necessarily anticipated. I just, I really focused on wherever I was at, trying to really maximize who I was for whoever I was working for, or whatever program I was in charge of, and then opportunities came out of that. And I'm grateful for all the experiences, to be able to play at a small college and then work at a school that is a Division I school but has some challenges in terms of resources, and then follow that path and then work at this iconic basketball school in Butler, and then work at a university like Ohio State that has so much to offer. It's really given a breadth of experiences that I'm grateful for.
Coach, a commonality we share is a football school that has really good basketball.
Yeah.
Me at Notre Dame playing there, obviously they lead with football, but we were able to carve our niche and make basketball successful. You're doing the same at Ohio State. How do you approach that, being in a place where it goes football first,
Yes.
but hey, we care very much about our basketball as well?
I've really tried to embrace it since I've been there, Jordan. And you're right. It's when you go from Butler to there. No offense to the Butler football program, right? But
I don't think it's a powerhouse, Coach. I don't think anybody's offended.
it's, you're talking about the very truest of blue bloods when it comes to football. And I think you can either fight it, you can either fight for space and airtime and all that, or you can embrace it, know that the eyeballs mostly turn once, the season ends. But they celebrate high-level achievement. They celebrate. We've had some great moments, up until last year. We had been a tournament team every year. We had beaten a couple number one teams in the country. We'd had some fun moments. And they celebrate high-level achievement there. And I think it's a place certainly where both sports can compete at the highest level.
I appreciate you not sending me that text after the Ohio State Notre Dame game, as we had talked to Trash leading up to it. I think you knew how the game went.
I was
appreciate
about to fire it
that
away.
not happening. You use the word embrace, and I think that's a key word to lead me into the next question. We don't have infinite amount of time because we could go long on this, but embracing NIL and what that presents. Where have you seen that make the game different as opposed to when you were coaching pre-NIL era?
Well, I think it just changes. I think you got to find out early how important it is. And for us, we've always said want to be a little bit traditional. It can be a factor in your decision, but if it's the factor, I'm not certain we're the place for you, because we still want to have kids that do want to be a student at Ohio State, or at least experience what Ohio State has to offer, however long they're there. So for us, we've embraced it at the highest level. But we've always said if it's a factor in your decision, great. We're going to support that. We're going to do everything we can to get you what your value is, and that's how we've approached it.
Coach, for Ohio State to return to what you know best, which is winning, what is the identity of this team?
I think we have to play together at a higher level for longer stretches than what we were able to do last year, defensively and offensively. I think our defense has to make significant strides. And we've got to get back to what we were the previous years, which was a pretty tough-minded, efficient team on both ends. And I think this group is well poised for that. We have size on the interior. Health is going to be important, but we've got some returning guys who know what this league is about, and that's what gets them excited.